Hello and welcome to, I don't even know what to call this podcast. It's a proof of concept. It's a pilot thing I've been working on or had a thought about because people like apparently hearing my views and in the community and all that and how badly wrong they can be sometimes. I don't know. This is, I have no name for this podcast yet. Untitled podcast, I guess I'm calling it for the minute. Or
Already
in
been
need
already
of
been
name.
It's already been that name's already been taken by a comedian, Dave.
God damn it. Pilot or work in progress podcast or something like that. I title work in progress community podcast, game community podcast, whatever. It's been 1 hell of a week in this community, 7 days, and just shit's gone real. I don't even swear on this. I'm gonna swear. It's a proof of concept. I'm gonna go with it. It's been 1 hell of the week. A lot of stuff's happened. We've had nice surprises. We've had some very bad surprises. And we've had some surprising surprises. I've got a few topics today that we're going to talk about. Or I'm going to talk about. I'm going to give my opinion. I think I've got Michael, Mickey, who used to work
Hello.
with TRN with me today. Some other people are going to come in as movement because I've started an event. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I've got be here for about an hour. Coming up, we got my take on the literal chaos of Brick shows this week because that's been mental. Sounds like advertising. It's not. We just had a very, very, very surprising week with these shows. Chris's channel is back. I've got a few ideas and a few hints on what to go and watch again because it's a massive archive of stuff, of hidden gems as well, but no one else has. And the main headline topic today is Aperion. Aperion shut after 3 months. This happened on Sunday night. I got news for it through an affiliate ping or a ping in another server. It's not good news. Apparently, the owner of Aperion, AbsolutelyTHW, has been a bit I don't know how to describe it. It's not the best. Not treating their staff with respect is probably the best way to put it right now.
Yeah.
It's not been a good week for. It's not been a good week for him. It's. I don't want to go into too much on this, but I will say I had an idea this was going to happen eventually, and that's because I got a DM when Aperion was around. When Aperion was starting to go back into shows or starting to go do shows and all that from THW. And he said he was the former pyramid of producer of Top's Pyramid.
It was.
Also known as ROBLOX Gamer, and he ended up leaving the community because of stuff that's happened there as well. I think he mentioned it was very. Wait, I think he left because of he had some very not nice thoughts.
You mean like he left the period because of because of not nice thoughts or something?
It was something along those lines. I'm trying to dance around the topics here. But I can check quickly.
I know what it works. I worked with him.
Yeah. But yeah, but basically I've just went back over to back into Toft's archives, and basically the announcement that they made when Roblox was got removed from Pyramid. It's just 5 years ago, by the way. It's basically the staff of the Pyramid. This is from Astrid back in May 2019, for those who are wondering. I'm quoting, the staff of the Pyramid have decided to remove Roblox's position as director of the Pyramid due to its intolerable actions in here and in the GTW Discord server. We believe this behavior is not the way a top fellow should act, and this is necessary for its cause for his removal. And Michael would then go on to be the show director going forward, and then he got banned and fired from the group. So this was 5 years ago. And then 5 years later, it's the same thing that's happened again. Something similar has happened where he's been outed for things that he's done again, and how and treatment of staff, and once again, he's basically been finished off.
Mm. Can I put my 2 cents into this?
Yeah, go ahead.
I would not trust someone who said that his brother had cancer. I wouldn't trust someone who leaked my full name, by the way, to everyone, right? Which is basically being doxxed.
Yeah, being doxxed.
I wouldn't trust someone who, had constant arguments, and if I'm honest, doesn't know how to run a group.
It's a questionable action as well. He stopped his show. He stopped this episode of Family Feud. This is the Aperion show, Family Feud, on Sunday night. Apparently, it was stopped literally halfway through the show, and he yelled at his host. Is what I've heard, and it might be hearsay. I think I don't know if that's hearsay or not, but it sounds about right.
Well, the thing is, right? Why couldn't he just, go into DMs and be like, listen, I didn't like the hosting. Here's how to improve yourself. Don't yell at him.
It's crazy. I mean, this is something that people should have. That people need to have respect for their others in the community. It's not something like you can't just go in and yell at someone if you don't like how they're doing something. Before I continue going on with anything else in this here, in the whole Aperion bit here, my thoughts go out to any of the people who were working on Aperion and who've like basically just lost their roles to their hosting gigs or their development gigs as a result of that. My thoughts go out to you guys, and I hope you guys get taken on elsewhere. I should mention that as well. It's not your fault. I know that. I hope you guys do get find your feet and get in a better group soon. I should mention that as well. But I think, as far as I'm concerned, if it should have been red flags. If someone, and I guess this also goes with the rebrand. People wouldn't be so aware because of the rebrand and all that. He rebranded his nickname. He changed his nickname, and it's been so long. It's been 5 years. I'm surprised people didn't see the warning signs a lot sooner. The red flags.
The thing is, right? I knew he wasn't going to change, right? Because I think 2 years after the incident, I got sent a DM from someone. Now, I'm not going to mention what was in the DM because, just in case, but
yeah, I got it. No, that's fine.
It wasn't. Let's just say it was very NSFW.
Ooh.
And it wasn't like with any other people. It was basically just like something else. I must clarify that. But that's what it were pretty much. And I remember reading it and just thinking, wow, he has not changed one bit. Like, at all, in fact.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. It's an interesting point because I didn't really speak to II that much when he was in TOF. I mean, to be fair, I barely speak to anyone outside of a VC these days.
He does it well.
If it's not in person, or I can't hear the voice, I'm not talking to you. But
I'm not speaking to the voices.
Yeah. But it kind of reeks. I'm surprised he came back to community realistically, especially after being kicked out of everywhere. Literally, I've talked before about the community blacklisting situation.
Yeah.
At hand, and how people can literally just get blacklisted from everywhere for saying something completely innocent and isn't really offensive, and it has happened. This isn't one of those situations. This is not one of those situations.
It actually almost happened to me.
Mm.
Like one time, I remember I think I said like the other words for cigarette. I'm not gonna mention what it is now, but basically, I almost got banned for it.
It's
So
yeah. Like I don't want to. I'm going to avoid turning this into like my whole bit on. Oh yeah, we need to have in like everyone needs to be impartial when it comes to product rating, because this isn't about that. This is something really different, and it's about treating your staff with the same respect that you treat the people around you in physical space. This is what it should be. This isn't about like moderation. It's about how you treat others and if you treat others, it's yeah. I am wondering if there are any like other, if there is any like thing deeper than that, because I haven't heard genuinely much. I'm gonna find out a little bit more. I'm gonna go through my little things.
his notes.
The notes I've been given. Apparently he did apologize, but apparently people aren't too happy with the apology. I've got the apology here. I should. It's from ROBLOX stroke THW, and I quote: "This is Donald Sunday." And I quote, "All right, I'll be brutally honest here about the situation that happened yesterday during Family Feud has really shown the damage that was already done. I'm deeply sorry about what happened, and for every mistake I've done to Yao, I take full accountability of the situation, and it's my fault all this has happened. I admit it, I'm not able to run a group like this, and it's really come to a point where it's affecting my mental health. And as SABC 37 said yesterday, it's a serious thing to deal with. I have failed myself as an owner, I failed my staff, and what's well, I failed everyone. I failed because I didn't have the maturity to deal with the issues regarding the group. I'll be honest, being a group owner isn't an easy task sometimes, and things like this can happen, and what happened yesterday is no exception. Group owning isn't really for me. I'm going to interject here. If group owning isn't a thing for you, why do you do it in the first place?
Can I just put my 2 cents into that and just put my 2 cents into this apology he did? It actually just feels like it was more or less of an apology and more just a please feel bad for me.
You think it was a sympathy apology?
Like,
go on.
you know, I just think I see one when I see one. Basically, like, I don't know, like, I might sound like an absolute arsehole for saying this, but you know, but if you wonder why I'm not like speaking as much, I'm eating Chinese and I've got stuff in my teeth.
That's understandable. I'm expecting to cook dinner in a minute.
Yeah, but like I said though, right? It seems like a sympathy apology. It's more of a, you know, I want to get out of this more than, oh, I'm genuinely sorry.
It's not as in the end of the apology, by the way. As for Crazier, I'm deeply sorry if I've humiliated you in front of everyone yesterday. I know it really hurt you, and it hurt myself as well. At this point, I'm not sure if we can keep going with Aperion. The damage was already done, and it was proven that I'm not really capable to run a group. I'm deeply sorry for everything that I've done to you all. As for my career, expect me to retire from the community in the next few days. Thank you all so much for everything that you have done, or y'all have done for me. In the past 10 years, I have had one of the best years of my life. End quote. It's an apology. As I said, it sounds like it's just. You're right. I think in thinking it is a very much a sympathy apology. I'm no apology expert. He probably would have been better off doing an apology video with a ukulele, personally speaking. But that might got you more sympathy.
I got that reference. Oh man!
But to put someone in the place where they feel humiliated in front of everyone as well, isn't it? It becomes something else because you probably just traumatized that person.
Yeah, like he probably now thinks, you know, oh, I don't feel welcome in the community. I'm going to leave. You know,
It's
you always,
it will make the person feel worse, and if that pushes them out of the community, then, dude, you don't belong in this community in general. Because this community needs to be more open in general as well. It's
yeah.
it's yeah.
I also just want to mention as well about Aperion real quick. From what I gather as well, when the group first started, they were they kept spamming people's, you know, they kept going in. THW kept going into people's DMs, being like, "Oh, can you join my group?"
Now I was he came into my DMs 3 months ago. I did say that he I did mention as well that he was in my DMs a couple months back in March, and he mentioned, oh yeah, he's back in the community and all that. Didn't actually mention anything about Aperion to me. He also did say he got his job back in TOF. I think that job has not. I don't think that's how. I don't think that's lasted too long. I need to pass you the classifieds, mate. I should stop doing jokes as well, because this is actually a pretty serious situation. I have some of the reactions in from HPG as well. I'm looking through right now, and obviously, it's not good. It sounds like, again, this is just off of what I'm reading. It's basically, yeah.
It's basically, you know, just like humiliation.
It's humiliation of other people. It's bullying of other staff. It's basically, him not doing the role properly. That's kind of what I've gathered from some of the things that I've been mentioned in HPG, and I shouldn't be going off hate stuff in HPG, but I'm not in Aperion, so I can't comment further than what I have already. I could actually, I'm gonna quickly do a quick sweep on other places as well, just to see if I can find anything on that. But
yeah,
no.
While you do that as well, I will say this as well. I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if any other staff members comes out in the next like few days or weeks.
It will be.
Sorry, you go ahead.
No, go on.
No, basically, I was going to say, like, I wouldn't be surprised if any other people comes out to say how they were treated in Aperion, and it wouldn't be surprising if it's like 3, 4, 5 people at least.
My theory, and this is my theory, is that Aperion, I would say, is a tale of two halves. I think you got the above deck and below deck. This is like the classic. It's the classic situation where above deck, everything seems fine. It all seems all good, but underneath, it's a shit show. Underneath, it's what I'm kind of. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, especially from some of the things I've heard. It probably is. It probably was like that. I'm kind of interested to see if any other staff do come out, whether we hear anything else about stuff behind the scenes. Like, they had a couple shows going in 3 months. So I'm wondering if there was crunch involved. I'm wondering if the decision, if there was crunch, would that have contributed to the change that we saw, where the pressure started building, and then we just see THW just completely lose it, like he did in somewhere like Family Feud. That's what I'm wondering right now, and and that's kind of what I'm wondering if it's like the case. It's an interesting point. It's an interesting situation, and again, to anyone who was developing or basically were hosting shows for Aperion, I hope you guys do find or land on your feet and you guys get a new hosting gig, or you get a new deving gig soon. But I'm going to move on, I think, because I think we've ran out of things to say on it. So, up next, Christopher Rahman. his YouTube channel's back. His old YouTube channel is back. For those who are wondering what happened with this, a couple years ago in 2021, Christopher's old YouTube channel, which had years and years and years of stuff in the community, went under. He got copyright striked and removed and taken down completely wholesale. He started a new channel afterwards, but it hasn't had the same amount of archive content as it did in recent years. And early this week, I think it's actually just around the same time as the whole Aperion stuff was going on, it was actually put back online by YouTube, and as a result, for the first time in years, we've actually got access to a load of other or older stuff that we haven't seen. To give you an example of some of the things you could see right now, if you go onto Chris's old YouTube channel, you have the entirety of the Weakest Link, or the Weakest Link Daily Games Tournament from top. That was in 2018. Episodes of The Last Traveler from 2019. You have a load of, or pretty much the entire back catalogue of GCW programs up until the end of to the channel's takedown, and then also additional stuff on his new one all the way leading up to the current close of GCW. The JC shows on there. There's quite a few JC show episodes on there. You got the whole of season 1 prize fight on TRN. You have the whole of Elephant Exchanges original series on TRN. An episode of Let's Make a Deal. This was the top GCW collaboration. That's also on there. There's a load of stuff on there that you can go and watch right now on YouTube. And it is, I cannot go into much I'm just scrolling through the stuff and through the channel. If there is a lot of stuff there, and if you haven't if you came in the community afterwards, this place is a very, very good starting point for you to get an idea of this is what the community was like before that.
It's like a gold mine, pretty much.
It is the gold mine of community content. Until I get my old archive stuff up again, but
yeah, Dad. But you're not like some of the greatest, like some of what I like to call the golden age of the community. You've got 1 versus 100, card charts, GCW, old NBC, Top Deal or No Deal.
It is a very, very curated collection, or a very large collection of stuff. It is basically the golden era of the community. Well, actually, I would call it the silver era of the community. I think people underestimate it because I think the golden era of the community was actually a lot earlier than what we consider the golden age right now. That's my take on it anyway. I think the golden age was a couple of years before just as Top was getting big and GCW was just about to open up. I think that was a really good golden age as well for just the creativity of the shows.
Oh yeah, GGSH.
Oh yeah, Gameshow Hallway as well. Yeah, Gameshow Hallway as well. Yeah, being there, it's an incredible thing. It's like incredible load of old shows and that you can go and watch right now. Any recommendations from yourself, Michael, on that?
So there actually is one, and I want to prove this now to people who call me traitor for the last 3 years in this community. So, do you remember how Tris used to upload episodes straight after it was done? Pretty
much.
There's an episode of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire from Tov that happened on Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah. What, Christmas Eve 2020? Was it 2019?
2019, yeah. It was a season 5 episode.
I thought right. So I just saw season. Okay, that's season 7. That actually doesn't. I don't think that lines up so well because I think that was 2018 actually. Season 5 was 2018. I
Oh yeah,
think.
true. I remember now. True, around the time we did We Just Went, weren't it, over there?
Yeah, we just finished up. We did the Weakest Link Christmas special.
Anyways,
Yeah, but
anyway,
that is there, I imagine.
but now, right, I can prove to people that we did have a Christmas episode in the community. So what's your excuse? Sorry, sorry, sorry about that. I just need to get my rant out the way there.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That is fair enough. For me, the picks I would probably say that I would be open, or I would probably say are the most important things in the community. A lot of the OTRN stuff, because that also outside of Multimillionaire hasn't been seen since in years. I will also make other suggestions as well. Last Traveler, I think, is a very, very well done show. And it's been years since that's been seen in that wild. So I'm happy to see that. Classic Millionaire from as well. Classic Top Millionaire also around on the channel as well. There's a compilation of every $1 million winner in season 6, and that is that's a lot. It's 24 minutes long. I've just passed over that.
The original Elfin Exchange.
Oh, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that. I need to look into that a bit more. I'll talk more about that in a future one, maybe. GCW Hallway Awards, I think, is also an important one. The first edition of that is on Chris's channel. I think that might also be available in other places as well. And there's so many things. There is one more thing I will mention as well, and it's the first time I've seen this in years. TRN Multimillionaire Season 2. That has not been seen. No one has a copy of that outside of Chris, and it's back on YouTube. If you haven't seen Multimillionaire Season 2, you need to have a look at it because it is interesting, and
it was fantastic.
It was the closest I came to actually not stopping work on a show until I actually did. So
yeah,
I called it a day.
There's also old episodes of the TRN Lottery, which I still think needs a revival here because
It's coming. It's not only big ticket.
I would post it in a heartbeat, tell you.
We were talking about this. I was talking about this with staff as well the other day. And I was talking to this with other people. I've said the chances are, and this is after Revolution cancelled. Revolution, the show was a show that was replaced Lottery Live pretty much in every aspect, barring the lightheartedness. I said to him, at this stage, I'm probably thinking about I'll just probably bring back Lottery Live. And I think I will. And there's a special coming up in a couple months for TRN's 5th. We're using that to find out if we should bring that back full time. It'd be back in its old time slot as well, 11:30 Saturdays.
I think we were the ones that started the whole 11:30 time slot as well.
It's kind of the same situation now. We basically did it because there was no other time slots available, and
now everyone else does 11:30 a.m. shows now. A lot of them do actually.
Not all of them, but I mean, Tom's got play your cards right. It's on at 12, and I think Studio 64 has the chase on at 11. So but we were definitely people to exploit that slot. At least we used it as well as we could.
I also remember as well another one that I just found, which is actually a very important thing, a very important episode we did. It was the TRN Lottery Live Season 1.
Oh, episode. I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say here. And I'm going
to be serious for this bit. This was meant to be Riley Aid. Do you remember?
It was Riley Aid. This was like legitimately probably, if you're going to go out of any way to see, if you're going to go out of your way to see any episode of Lottery Live, make it this one, Season 1, Episode 6. Because this is one of the best episodes we've ever done of a show in the community. Full stop.
And this was coming from a week when the community was pretty much... The community was going through a lot.
Yeah.
it was going through a lot at that point. 2020 where the one, community inside the community and outside the community, a lot of things were happening, and at the time we were starting to do a thing called we thought an idea called Rally Aid, because the studio, I think it came from a joke, didn't it? When when we made the studio and I said, "Oh, it just looks like Children in Need."
It's because it was children in need set, pretty much.
But we did it, and it was one of the best shows we ever did. And if I'm honest, I kind of wish if we do bring back the lottery, we need to do Rally Aid every year. I think
We'll have a look at doing it again. I think there's a problem in that if we repeat the same bits, we wouldn't be able to do it. It would be it's what is it? It's the law of diminishing returns. That's what it is. The law of diminishing returns. And I think if we did it every year, it would have been pretty. The joke would probably get old. I think.
True, but we should make it like our own little WrestleMania. So.
Pretty much. I think it is. We might look into bringing it back. I mean, it would be. I would love to do it again. I genuinely would. It's a great thing to do.
It was a great week. It was a great show to be a part of, and I think that's what put TRN on the map. That and Multimillionaire as well.
Yeah, lottery. Yeah. The only problem is I'd have to get the fucking sound effect for the number again in.
Oh, not the Arthur theme.
No, not the lottery theme. The other the theme, the sound effect for the numbers, for the phone number.
Oh, you can still.
That's an easy. That's an easy. I think that's an easy grab though.
Well, one thing I do want to say though to Chris, if you are watching this or listening, I don't know.
Let's see.
Get rid of Vogue's name ASAP from the description.
I mean, it was. Oh.
She's a catfish.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Damn. That's news to me. That's news to me. The last thing I heard about Vogue was genuinely whole Tamer thing that was happening in 2020. I should talk about that a bit sometime as well, because I have the footage on that as well. I have some of the footage on that, and that got a load of people into trouble as well, because they tried to fucking figure it out. There was a whole mystery group chat and everything that ended up getting raided, and got closed.
It got me into trouble because that made me lose my partnership with Toff. So thanks, Meredith.
There was a lot of issues with TRN at the time. Let's be real.
It'll be an episode. That'll be a whole episode.
That'll be that's just a thing in itself. The 2020 as a year, just a thing in its own. It's a thing in its own right. Yeah.
If you want that episode, give us money.
No, we don't. I don't run paid. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, Chris has made a video on this. On the channel being put back up, and I'm not joking about this. He's actually put a video up. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but it looks like he might be considering putting it up for uploads again, putting uploads on it again. But to him, my suggestion would be, if he's got 2 channels now, one of them be for all of the other stuff that's going on with him. Make one of them the community archive. Make it one of them a community archive and put the old game shows on it, and put all the rest of and use that as a archive for game community content in general, because he has an incredible back catalogue of video content from the game community, and it would be a shame if we just lose it because of I mean, it would be a shame if we lose it again because of, not because of Chris, but just because big media company copyright strikes, Big Brother eviction video supercut again. because I think that's what happened the last time, or something along those lines.
And even another suggestion as well to Chris, put these on TikTok. Seriously, put them on TikTok. Like these videos, like TikTok is more like a lot of people watch TikTok more now than ever before. It could get a lot more new members as well.
I think, yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. I mean, to be fair, I've been looking into shorts and for the Blue Brick stuff. If I didn't fuck up last night's in Drop Zones video, that final round would have been a short in its own right. Actually, probably one two. It'd been a clip actually. Speaking of last night's Drop Zones, it's been a chaotic week here in Blue Brick. Which has been what I've been running for the last few years, and it's gonna sound like I'm gonna be doing a lot of promotion for this, but in a minute. But I'm just gonna mention it because I bullet pointed everything down. Over the last, literally in the last 4 days, this has all happened, and this has actually been legitimate. This is all legitimately what's happened. So we did prize fight Monday night. We had a new set. We had a few issues with the new set, but that's expected. Teething issues, first use and all that. Nothing's going to work on the proper. Not everything's going to work on the for the first time properly. We had a tie for the just before the final. Literally, the final player, we had a tie, and that is the first time that's ever happened. Oh, it's one of the first times at least. Deal or no deal on Monday was won with a £10 difference.
Oh.
Now it's like that is the closest ever finish we've ever had. We've had Elephant Exchange this week as well. That's back. New twist on the show. A lot less luck. A little bit more strategy, I think, is what we're using. Shade got eliminated by only 100 quid. By only 100 being 100 quid behind from safety. And just last night's Drop Zones in its own right. Now, Drop Zones is a habit of just genuinely being random, especially in recent seasons. Last night we had 3 10s, and for the third time in a row, Tim went out in the first round. In the third appearance in a row, he went out in the first round. And Jamal went out on 10 for the third time in a row. And we have been running this thing called Double Drop, where 2 players go in 1 round recently. And this is what happened on that second episode, on that second round of the Double Drop. To put it bluntly, it is, or just try and put it in the best way possible. Crusher is on 2 strikes. Hers has a perk button, and Doge is in the middle between them. Crusher just did his nominate. Hers is up now. He's on pool 9. He has a 50-50 shot. He either drops or the next person drops. He places perk. He places perk button, which is a button that randomly generates a perk. And the perk that comes up is reverse direction. The direction gets reversed to Crusher. Crusher decides, I'm going to nominate. Nominates Doge. The nominate fails. Crusher goes out. And because that was the 9th pool, the next one would have been out anyway, because that's 10. The RNG only ever goes up to 10. And as a result, Doge goes as well, because it's reached the max number, and hers wins. It is the first time ever that the game has ended at the final 3 in 5 years. That's like mental.
Surely there must have been another time though when it was like the top 3, and then the top 3 was the final game.
No, first time ever. 5 years, first time I've ever seen it.
Wow.
It's available in audio only form though, because I've got to fucking record video, which is ironic considering this is a podcast, and technically it's a podcast, but yeah. It's been a mental week. I'm literally going off to do deal in about half an hour's time after filming this. And it's been if this week has told me anything, this has just been the most unexpected week we've ever had, and it's probably going to be even more unexpected as we go on to deal tonight.
And I'll be there to record it.
I'll be there to record as well, as usual. I cannot wait for that though. I cannot. I would have asked, I would have asked questions as well right now from the community, but for community questions, but no one else is here but me and Michael. Which is a surprise, but yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, this was very ad hoc. I haven't decided. I literally just thought, on a whim. It's been a hell of a week, so I might as well talk about everything. Hi, Bowling. Bowling's here.
Hey, what was it?
You've missed a lot of stuff. A lot of chat.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I got a question.
Yeah, go on.
I got a question to ask both of you. And this is actually related
Sure.
to, because Bowen, you work at Cornerstone, right?
At what?
Cornerstone Arcade.
Oh, boy.
Huh? Cornerstone, not anymore, no.
Oh, not anymore, right. Well, the question is, right, when are we going to see more, like, Gameshow arcade games in the community? I feel like we're due for some.
I can't answer. I don't have that information.
No.
I don't know.
Is it?
There's kind of a weird guy that makes one or any of his partners that makes the machines he uses. With anyone in general.
I remember asking the second Luigi,
yeah.
whatever his name is.
Luigi, yeah.
Luigi, yeah. I remember asking him once, right, saying, could we were thinking, could we have like a multi-millionaire arcade game?
Ooh.
And he said no.
Oh.
He said no, even though because he said that, it's because Arcade Island already has a millionaire machine and we don't want to copy him.
Sure.
Sure, I guess, but I don't know.
Maybe you should went to Arcade Island then and talk to him about it, branding it, upgrading his millionaire machine with a multi-millionaire. It's a multi-millionaire machine.
Yeah.
We'll
wait for the 5th year anniversary.
I don't know. I mean, I'm excited for the 5th year anniversary. For those who don't know, what happened to a bit of drama, by the way, back in the end of last year.
Sorry.
For making
not your fault. It's not your fault.
Game show machines to run.
Yeah, it's just community. That's just community in general. Always hunting for drama. Always on the hunt for drama. Can't find it. Basically, what happened is we announced that we're going to bring back multi-millionaire, or not multi-millionaire. We announced we're going to do a TRN special for a one-off TRN special for 5 years. And I said I didn't tell anyone at the time. So we were in the middle of a drop zones where we announced it, and after the show, it gets very heated in the BC, and due to everyone just going around questioning and arguing about it, or trying to what would you call it? What would you call it? Because it's like I don't know what I'd call it, because it's like it's not. It's stating opinion, but it's also trying to cause drama. I think it's like they're trying to start drama out of it. I think that's what happened.
The thing is, from what I remember, I got told by someone about the whole TRN anniversary, and I thought to myself, like, fair enough, but I just feel like because I started TRN, with the help of Riley and I think it was Kevin as well at one point.
Wise, yeah. Even Wise, yeah. Kevin Wise.
It came from the weakest link because we got sacked.
Literally, it was a kind of a double decision because it was a double decision. We were working on the weakest link together and we just thought, yeah, start a group. And then I get suspended and fired from weakest link. If I was on weakest link production and suspended from SOF for, I think it was 3 months. And then it's just like, why not I'm just going to push it into overdrive then. And yeah, that's how TRN started pretty much, and I got everything going.
The thing is, I wouldn't mind seeing some TRN shows return to Really Blue. I feel like Really Blue Bridge is like a revival of TRN in a way, because a lot of the TRN shows usually came from Riley.
Yeah.
Prize Fight, The Lottery, Multi-Millionaire came from the Wicked Mind of Riley.
It's wicked because I'm wicked. I just don't know because I'm just chaos in my mind. It's like, oh yeah, let's just edit everything. Edit everything. Let's make it so we don't get in trouble, or just try and make it so it's like so we don't so it's like unbelievable, or people don't resemble or see what it is. My mind is a chaotic mess sometimes when it comes to shows. I somehow have a knack for it in this community, just coming up with the weirdest ideas and making it happen. I guess. I mean, I get that. I mean, I think a lot of people see Bluebrick as either a successor, not or just TRN rehashed, but it's not. I can vouch for that. I can vouch it's not a rehash. Just and I can and to put it bluntly, it's just because it's at the end of the day, we're not trying to be TRN. We're not. We're just doing.
You're trying to be yourselves.
Yeah, trying to be ourselves. Just relax, chill, and trying to just put out something other than what we already have.
I do still need to be a staff member though. I'm still trying to be a staff member.
You want staff? I'll give you staff. You'll be very surprised at the lack of shit that goes on behind the scenes. I'm not joking either.
Are you actually not joking?
I'm not. It's actually pretty quiet behind the scenes. We do all our shit mostly in a VC call.
Oh man.
Most of the big calls are made in a VC like this after a show.
It's usually just Raoul just being like, "We've done this."
Everything. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's just Bluebrick. It's just me on a whim, just deciding, making decisions. It's kind of a dictatorship, but it's not but it isn't, because it's like at the end of the day, I'm trying to get input from other people on everything that we do. I mean, the biggest suggestion I've taken on board was when we did Elephant Exchange this year, or when we brought back Elephant Exchange, was one of the big suggestions was reducing the amount of the top prize from 100 grand to a 25 grand, or top slot to 25 grand, and I did that because I think it made the game closer, and look what happens.
I'm not gonna lie, when I was watching the show last night, it actually reminded me of what's it called? Of like a BBC game show from like prime time.
I mean, I went with more of a set design that looks more like perfection than anything else, and make it purposely look daytime. And then, what was it? Antithesis to Golden Balls per se, was what I was going with at the time, or going with originally. I mean, it wasn't even the first set design. I think it was the second or third one that we went with.
Yeah. Again,
it was I have a habit now of just pushing out a set and then deciding, oh yeah, I'm not going to do that set. I'm going to take slightly longer to do a new set, and actually it worked out. The second set, the third set, the fourth set is normally better than the last. I mean, I think I mentioned about the prize fight earlier, slightly, and I go on and I say about prize fight, and that set we've already redone the set for and everything. That new set took over a year to do. And have you seen it yet, Michael?
The what?
The new prize fight set.
I've not seen it yet.
All right, I'll put an image up on the screen, and then the video from that, or the feed from the episode from Tuesday night. So it's like, I think the episode on Tuesday night shows it better than what we have already, or what we have currently. Let me do that a minute. And as I said, it took a year for us to do, because I wasn't even working on it full time. I was doing it part time whilst my studies were wrapping up, or whilst my studies were doing things. In between all my... Oh, I just realised I put that in news. I put that in news! I didn't put that in general, I put that in news!
What was it? Oh,
the prize fight image. Image of the prize fight set. Yeah. Let me do that. And then I'll do that. And then, yeah. Basically, that took a year to get done, pretty much. Or actually, I say it took a year. It actually took about 9 months And then I slept on it for 3 months whilst I was doing other projects and came back on the day of the show.
You know what it reminds me of? You know what it reminds me of?
What? What does it remind me of?
Making your mind up 2007.
Oh. I didn't think about that. I mean,
Really?
I didn't think about that because I thought, because I intentionally based the main actual stage flooring and all that off fucking American Idol. If I can find the picture. Where is the picture? Where is the picture? There it is. No, the actual stage base is actually more based off American Idol than anything else. Actually, the screen as well. And it's a resemblance that only comes to mind when you actually see it in the image.
Is that the new stage they have now, or?
Yeah, that's the current stage they have now. That's
Oh,
one they
shit.
introduced last year. I mean, to be fair, in their defense, it wasn't a decision that they had by any. It wasn't a choice they had to make on. It wasn't a decision they had to make. They got moved out their old set, out their old studio because of redevelopment work, so they had to camp up in a new place, and as a result, they introduced a new set. Similar to what they did with Price is Right. It's probably the best example where they took everything apart, but they did an updated set for it. They just built a new set here instead. I don't mind it too much. Though.
I will say this though, like a lot of the stages. But I've noticed this with you, Riley. A lot of the stages.
Here we go. Here we go. In the round.
And while you're stating the shit, I'm kidding.
I think I know where you. I think it's obvious that you're going to say that all my sets are in the round. And I say to that, yeah, but at the same time, if I do a conventional set, then it makes it. I can't really do conventional sets, otherwise I make it like Actually, I don't know why I've done so many in the round sets for shows lately. Or they're just curved things. Almost every set we have, barring Elephant Exchange, the set's curved in some way. The audience are curved.
Yeah, it really is.
I don't know why I keep doing that. I think it just looks. I think for me, it just looks nicer, or it fits better with the set. I mean, let's be real. If we have what a prize fight looks like, if we did the prize fight set, if we just had the standard bleacher there instead, the usual like square riser in. Wouldn't look as good, would it? I think Money Spinner probably would have gotten away with a square riser or a more generic riser. I think as for Deal, I'm actually tempted to put black curtains up behind the set, so we don't. It's because we don't actually use the audience area on Deal anymore. We never have.
Pretty much. It's just a holding bay, really.
Yeah, holding area. Yeah, I'm actually probably gonna do that now as well. I got 20 minutes. Not really live. I mean, we were going to do square bleachers for the new set. I mean, I've changed. I'm planning on doing a new set for it anyway after the specials this year. After the specials finish after a special, if it goes to series. Okay, I'm gonna move the lights. I'm just gonna move the lights up. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move the lights up, and then I'm gonna, that's probably the best idea I have right now. Is just move the lights up, and then I'm gonna put a black wall instead behind the I'm gonna put a black wall. I'm gonna put black surface GUIs behind the thing. This became an impromptu dev session, by the way, for those who are listening to this.
You know what we should. You know what we should also do as well. We should also suggest new shows for Really Brew Break.
What a pitching session! It's a pitching show, a pitching podcast. I mean, the thing is, right, and I think that's the thing that people forget about Brew Break is that barring originals, almost all of the shows we've had over the past since we've come back have been either originals or modded. So unless you have an idea for a modded take on a popular show, or alternatively you have a original idea that no one wants to take on anywhere else because because no one else thinks it's a good idea, give us a ring. It's probably the best idea.
How about Chat Show?
Ooh, no. I am we. You have not heard half of my takes on half. You have not heard half of my takes on chat shows because I've said a lot about them. You know exactly. If you've been in a VC with me in the past year, you know exactly what my fucking take on chat shows and this community are like. Oh, you know it already.
Pretty much.
Oh, good game, Northam.
Bloody chat shows. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go into it again because I've got the time. I'm gonna go into it again. This is my rant now. This is my rant. We don't need them. We don't need chat shows in a game show community. What's the point in them? What's the point? We don't need to go around promoting our shows. We don't need to go around promoting our shows in like, you know. We don't need to do that. We're not like, if people want to come to our shows, they'll come to our shows. You don't have to fucking, you know, go around to announce it in, I don't know, the weirdest set possible or unconventional way. It's these days, it's just filler. A chat show to me these days is just filler. That's what it is. Unless you're
Pretty
JC.
much.
Unless you're JC, because JC apparently, yeah.
For me, like with chat shows, I only see it as like, you know, just like a comedy show. I don't think anyone really cares about the interview bit. I
Well,
never did, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't really care about the interviews. I think it's a problem that I think chat shows for me, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, if it's meant to be comedy, then half the time they fail at that as well.
Sometimes, from my opinion, really, sometimes it felt flat because most times when you actually compare, like, say, online and actual life, you can actually hear like tone and facial expression. Otherwise, just your own interpretation in the when you're reading it screen.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not really that good.
I mean, the thing is with me, I really just did chat shows because I just like doing comedy.
I think there is room for comedy in the community. I do think that. I just don't think if people think that chat shows are the right vehicle for comedy, I don't think that's the right. I don't think it is the right vehicle.
No way.
I think there's a slightly better vehicle for comedy in the community. And I don't think in the game community especially. I just don't think we found it.
I think there's several shows focused on comedy someone could do.
I mean, yeah, there's. I think.
Why has no one tried Who's Line, actually? Why has no one tried
that? Has been tried. That has been tried.
Actually, fun info about that. It was attempted like 3 times in the community. I believe 1 time across, and then 2 times in GCW. They had the cast members. Episode never even happened.
Yeah, NBC
Like,
did it as well.
that-
Hasn't really mentioned.
That's what the most recent I can remember. It was supposed to be, if I remember for the GCW cast, it was going to be Kirk, Cappers. It's a fun fact, surprisingly enough, Shade as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is definitely a way to do comedy in this community. I think there is definitely a way to do it. I just don't think. I just don't think that the right way to do it is, you know, through a talk show. I think there is a way that you could set up a comedy bit in community. I mean, again, look at our Riley special that we did in Lottery Live, because that works out really well for like, and that had comedy in it installed, and it's still
any of the skits on today on CBS. Those work fine.
Oh, they were good. They were good.
Yeah,
I think
the skits by itself, they were good.
Today on CBS, I think is the only talk show, to my knowledge, that I've actually is actually nailed it on the head in this community. And I know that's going to be harsh towards JC and all that, because I know JC's still going on and everything. But I think to date, it is the only show that's actually managed to properly do the job, to actually get the job done, or to actually follow through.
Really?
And yeah, and I think it's because they weren't. Because I think they did. I think it's because they did actually not follow through on, or they avoided doing the. Maybe it was because they avoided doing interviews or long interviews, or
because
and they spoke to
mostly,
long skits.
if I remember the layout. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'll quickly finish up the point as well. It's a case of for today on CBS why it's probably that, and also the fact that they had the big wheel of Robux as well, which also added to the intrigue. Because you remember these days, 250 Robux nowadays on the game show is pretty much chump change, or it was until it is pretty much. It is. I mean,
at the time, it was still a pretty big prize.
But
No one would give away big Roblox prizes back then.
Big, but
yeah, but
really
these days it's not as big.
Like,
it's not.
It was maybe 1,000 at most.
Like most shows are giving out like thousands at best.
I mean, to be fair, the only big show. The only show right now that's giving out more than 1,000 Robux is Hot Seat and Classic Millionaire on APS.
Yeah.
It's the only major group show, and then obviously got HBCU's Run for Money as well. It's giving away out at least 1,000 per episode. I should also mention that as well because obviously Mono's here. I almost forgot to say that.
Podcast due to work, but hey, my name's Mono. I'm under HBG. Crazy shit. That's all. Enough said. No comment.
Just like for today. Go on over 3K.
I need to wrap it up as well pretty soon because we're meant to be opening up for deal in a minute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think today on CBS really got it right. They've got it right. And it's something that no other show or no other attempt at a talk show has done since. It's like it's nailed it right on the head. And I think that's about the best way I can put it. Anyway, I'll wrap this podcast up because you gotta open up for deal in a minute, and also I need to But my thanks to Michael and my thanks to Bowling and Mono for their contributions to this all as well. Will this return? We'll see. We'll see. I've had some fun doing this. It's fun to talk about shit in the community and all that sometimes. Hopefully this comes back. But if not, thanks for listening, and I'll see you very soon. Have a good one. Bye bye.